Hey everyone, how you doing? My name's Sammy and welcome to my channel. I'm so glad that you've joined me today for the exercise program we're about to begin. This one we're going to be doing seated, so you're going to need a sturdy chair and something preferably without arms, so you've just got some more room to move. You're also going to need a resistance band because we're going to be using this for our strength training. So I've got a TheraBand here, which is kind of flat and soft, but you can also use resistance tubing as well, and some of your resistance bands might have handles on them. Either way, that's totally okay. If you don't have resistance bands, that's no problems. Still participate. It just can feel really nice to move in our bodies. You also need a ball of some type or a pair of socks or something that you can hold on to. So I've got a chi ball here. It's quite soft and it's a little bit sort of sticky as well, so easy to hang on to. But like I said, if you don't have a chi ball, just a tennis ball or something that you can kind of hold in your hand. So we're going to be using our chi ball for some hand-eye coordination as well as some core work. As always, we want to listen to our body and how we're feeling today. So, adjust your level of participation depending on how you feel, if you need a little bit more break, and have some water handy as well. So, if we will be taking short breaks throughout the duration of our exercise program. So, roughly the way it's going to go is that we'll do 6 exercises. We'll back to back them in pairs, doing roughly around 3 sets of 10 repetitions. Once we finish those 3 sets, we're going to have a little break. So you can hit the pause button, grab a drink, do what you need to do, and then just jump right in when you're ready to go. We'll start and finish our program with a little bit of a warm up and a cool down. But if you've already been moving around and you don't want to do the warm up, just fast forward and get straight back into it. Okay. All right. So I'm going to pop my tools of the trade down, and I have got my chair angled a little bit, and that's so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. So from here, we're going to just move our bodies for about a minute, just get the blood circulating, get the muscles and joints all warmed up. So from here, we just want to sit comfortable with our back off the chair, relax our shoulders away from the ears, and we'll just do some little head nods here for the neck. Just a few. And then we're going to turn the head side to side. And we can do a couple of ear to shoulders as well. Just take our time. And then let's move on to the shoulders, elbows, and wrists. So we'll start circling the shoulders a few times, incorporate your elbows and then the wrists, maybe give your fingers a little wiggle, and then let's reverse the circles. So it doesn't take long to do this. Nice. So let's start to move our spine a little here so we can pop our hands on our lap, just moving the lower back, making some gentle circles. And when you're ready, change direction. Last one. Nice. We'll do a few side bends here. Get some lateral movements through the side of the body. And then some gentle twists. So we're not holding the movements. We're not doing a stretch. We're mobilizing the body here. So let's move on to the hips, and we can pick up a leg, support the thigh with our hands, and make some circles of the hip joint. Change directions when you're ready. Do the same with the other side. Pick it up and then do some circles. And the other way. And then we'll start to move the knees a little here. So just straightening and bending the legs. And of course, if you've done something already this morning before you've jumped on here, just go straight into your exercises. We'll tap the toes out here and then come up onto the balls of our feet. So our ankles are nice and warmed up. Maybe do some in and out with the toes. Nice. All right, so we're ready to begin. So the first thing we're going to be doing is some back work. We're going to be doing some seated rows, okay? So I'm going to pick up my resistance band. It's nice and long, this one. All right, so again, I'm going to angle my chair a little bit here so you get to see what the movement looks like. So we want to have our back off the chair. That way we can keep these core muscles or the muscles of our trunk nice and active. So from here, we're going to bring the hands out in front of us, around about chest height, and sit with our feet on the floor so we're feeling nice and steady in our stance. And then from here, we're going to pull the band apart as we draw the band towards our chest. and we'll bring the elbows behind us. Now, the band doesn't need to touch your chest. We're going to just bring it to our body as close as we can. Think about squeezing our shoulder blades together. So we're up to about rep 5 now. Just taking our time, not rushing. I think I might have to move the chair forward a little bit. I'm hitting my little light display there. Good. So just gently pulling that band apart, bring it towards your chest, squeezing the shoulder blades together. We'll do another 2 more. And down. Good, well done. So we've done our first set of rows. So from here, we're going to do a little bit of jumping jacks here. And again, I'm just going to move my chair around a little bit. So we're going to bring our ball, pop it above our head, holding it with 2 hands. Just pop that out of the way there. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to bring both feet out to the side as we bring our hands down by our side. And we're going to change the ball from one hand to the other. So we end up doing roughly around about 10 each side. So about 20 jumping jacks. So it's going to look like this. We're going to go 1, 2, 1, 2. So that's 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, and 10. Good job, awesome. All right, so that's our 2 exercises that we're going to do. So we can give our shoulders a little bit of a shake here, maybe do some little stretches here, because it is a fair bit of work for the upper body in our rows, as well as our little jumping jacks. All right, so let's move on to the second round. So from here, we've got our hands in line with our shoulders, roughly like that. Tall spine, feet flat on the floor, and we're drawing the elbows behind us and then releasing. Okay, so just keep that band around about chest height. We don't want to bring it up too high and strain the neck muscles. We're up to rep 4 and 3. And can you notice your back muscles working? Oh, my little light's going with me here. Oh my heavens. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go. All right, let's do 2 more after this. Just pulling those elbows behind you and done. Nice work. All right, so this time I'm going to pop the band just behind me so it's well out of the way. All right, here we go. So I'm going to pop my ball above the head, feet in line with my hips, and let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Awesome. All right, so we've done our second set of our rows and our little jumping jacks. Pop that down on the ground. Whoop, stay there. All right, so now we're up to our third set. Okay, so sitting up nice and tall, chest out, and here we go. Big pull towards the chest. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Great job. Awesome. All right, so we've got our last of our jumping jacks. Okie doke. Pop our whatever we're holding on to, socks, ball, whatever it is in our hand, and let's begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Halfway there. We've got 5 more to go. And 3, 2, and last pair. Great job. Well done, everyone. All right, so this is where we get to hit the pause button, have a little break. I know my shoulders could do with a bit of a rest after all those rows and jumping jacks. And then when you're ready, just jump back in and we'll get ready to do our next exercises. See you guys soon. All right, so let's jump into our next two exercises. So the first one we're going to be doing is a chest press. So we'll be using our resistance band for this one. So let's pop it round the back of our body and then underneath our armpit. Okay, so we want to sit up with our back off the chair so we can keep those core muscles nice and active. And we'll be working on our arm muscles as well as our chest muscles as well. Okay, so let's begin. So we'll push out on one and then slowly bring the bands back. So push out with intent and slowly come back. So these bands are roughly in line with our shoulders or when we press out. So the wrists are in line with the shoulders. Okay, so take your hands a little bit away from the front of your armpit as you press forward and slowly return. Press forward and slowly return. So let's do 5 more of these. And 4 and 3, just nice and controlled. 2, and we have 1 more to go. Great job, lovely. So I'm just going to let my band fall back behind me and then grab our ball or whatever you're hanging on to. And we're going to add a little bit of rotation for the spine here. Okay, and then we'll be working our core muscles in rotation as we turn from side to side. So from here, we're just going to reach across as much as we can. And as we turn, we're going to change the ball from one hand to the other, focusing on keeping those knees pointed in front. So our knees are in line with our hips and just stretching across, reaching the ball away from us as much as we can without lifting our bottom cheeks off the chair. So let's do 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Lovely. All right, so those are our 2 exercises for this round. So let's pop that ball down, grab our resistance band, snuggle it underneath our armpit, bring the hands a little bit away from, kind of away from the front of our armpit, and then we're going to press on one and then slowly return. Good. Press and then slowly return. Okay, we're nearly at the halfway mark. So let's do 5 more. 5 and 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Nice work. Okay, let's pop that band on the chair, pick up whatever we're holding on to, my chi ball, and then reaching across, getting that bit of rotation through the spine. That's it, lengthening down the arms. Nice, we're halfway there. We have 5 more to go. Keep those knees into the front. 2 more each side. 1 and 2. Great job. Awesome. All right, so we're up to our last round. Grab my band here. Stay there, ball. All right, let's snuggle it underneath there. Hands a little bit away from the armpit, knuckles forward, wrists are straight and strong. Press forward and smoothly back we go. Nice. Now we want to keep that tension on the band the whole time. So have a play around with how much you have in your hand. And if it's too easy, just make it a little bit more tighter. Right, let's go. 5, 4, 3. I'm definitely feeling this in my arms. 2 and 1. Good. Lovely. All right, let that drop down. Grab whatever we've got handy, and then here we go, reaching across, really stretching, opening up the back. 3, 4. Following the ball with your eyes. That's going to make your rotation a little bit cleaner. Let's do 3 more each side. 3, 2 and 1. Nice, good job, awesome. So we've just finished our next 2 exercises that we had planned. Again, we can take a little break here and jump on back in when you're ready. And yeah, I'll see you then. Alrighty, we're back to finish our last 2 exercises for our program today. So the first one we're going to be doing will be focusing on the mid to lower part of our body, anywhere between your kind of mid back down to your knees. And then we'll finish off with a cool thing with the chi ball as well. All right, so the first one we're going to be doing is we're going to grab our band. We're going to be doing seated clams. So we want to make sure our back's still off the chair. We're going to grab our resistance band and put it behind our knees. And our feet, we can kind of bring them fairly close together. They don't need to touch, but fairly close together. So once we've done this, we're going to cross over our band. So we've got an X above our knee, and we can just rest the outside of our hands kind of on our lap a little bit here. So make sure that you do have some tension in the band here, that it's not super loosey-goosey. We want to keep that tension on the whole time. It doesn't have to be super tight because we need room to move, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be opening the knees, and then we're going to be closing. So very controlled. So we're working those muscles a lot in our bottom, okay, and our lower back. So we're kind of rolling on onto the edges of our feet, or the outside of our feet, as we open the knees away from each other. Good. And we just relax those arms down by our side as much as we can. So obviously, not only are the bottom part of our body getting some work, as we hold on to the band, we're feeling tension in the upper body as well. So there's quite a lot of muscles that are working at the moment. Good. So let's do another 3. 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. Awesome. So let's leave that band there, give it a little bit of a rest. And then from here, we're going to grab our ball and we're going to extend a leg and the opposite hand. So just extending, extending. We'll do 10 on each side. So just reaching that arm forward. Ooh, I think my band's going to go for a little walk here. That's it, stretching across. Now, I'm not really leaning forward. I'm going to keep my posture upright for this. I want to save all my energy for my lower back with my clams. So I'm still getting core activation here. My core still is working, those deep inner tummy muscles, muscles at the side of your body, muscles in the back that help with your posture. Good, let's do 1 more on each side. Good, awesome. All right, so that's our first set, and we have 2 more rounds to go before we move on to our stretch. So let's put my feet on the ground, put my feet fairly close together, do a little crossover so we have a little X above our knees. Make sure our elbows are down, rested by our side. We're not flaring them out, so we're not straining the neck. And then from here, rolling to the outside of our feet, and then bring the knees together. So very controlled. And the tension's on the band, not only as we pull our knees apart, but as we come to our return as well. Okay, let's do 5 more. 5 and 4 and 3, couple more, and last one. Great job, awesome. So I'm going to pop that band kind of under my legs a little bit, grab my ball, and here we go, opposite arm and leg, stretching the arm and leg out as much as I can while I maintain, comfortably upright position for my body. Okay, let's go 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Terrific. All right, 1 more set of each to go. We're nearly there. Okay, so let's pop our feet on the floor, fairly close together. Do our little crossover. Palms up, shoulders relaxed away from the ears, and let's open and close. Nice and smooth. Open and close. You might even notice the muscles in your bottom tensioning as you pull your knees apart. Okay, let's do 4 more. And 3. Couple more to finish. And last one. Great work, everyone. All right, grab our ball, whatever we're using, and then opposite arm and leg, really stretching those limbs out in front of you. Okay, let's go 5 more each side. And 3. And 2. And last one on each arm. Good work. Nice. All right, so we've done our exercise program for today. So now we're going to do a couple of stretches. And then I'm going to actually have lunch after this. So, all right, so sit comfortably again. Let's keep that back off the chair because we are going to do some rounding of the spine to stretch our back muscles. For now, we'll tuck our chin to our throat. We can let the arms hang by our side. Just focusing on breathing your normal, natural breath. And then we can gently lift the chin up, draw the nose to the ceiling. Opening up through the throat. Bring the head to face forward, gently tilting the ear to the shoulder. We'll stay here for a few breaths, stretching down the length of the neck, down the side of our neck. And then ease the head up and over to the other side. Lovely. All right, so we're going to sweep the hands out in front, make a little, I might even turn my chair just a little bit to the side so you can see. We're going to be rounding the spine so we can open up the muscles out the back and give them a big stretch. So tuck your hips and chin, hollow out your belly. And then when you're done, I'm just going to pop my hands on the back of my chair, roll my shoulders away from the ears and lift my chest and belly to the front. Opening up and giving the front of our body a little stretch. You might even just like to let your hands go. Stretch your fingers. Nice. All right, so let's stretch the side of our body. Grab your left hand, pop it on the outside of your right knee. Once you've done that, pick up your right arm. And we're going to tip over to the left. So we get this lovely little lengthening right down the right side of our body. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on up and then we'll take that right hand a little bit behind us, look over our right shoulder. So we get a little twisty stretch here. And then coming to the front, let's grab our right hand, pop it on the outside of our left leg, pick up our left arm and do the same thing as we tip to the right, opening all the way down our left side of our body. Just watch that we keep that left bottom cheek firmly planted on the chair. And then when you're ready, come on up, grab that left hand, pop it behind you just a little bit, gazing over your left shoulder, or you can even shut your eyes if you want to. And then coming to the front and then just do a little bit of a stretch for our legs. So we're going to extend our leg out in front as much as we can to straighten it as much as we can. We're going to pull the big toe towards us. So if you sit up nice and tall, you might feel a sensation of lengthening down the back of that leg. You can add a little bit of a forward fold if you need a bit more intensity to the stretch. And then ease that off, maybe a bit of a toe point here to stretch the top of the foot. And then lowering down. And then again, we can do the other side. You can cradle that leg with your hands, pull the big toe up. And then add a little toe point at the end as well. Lovely. Let's pop that leg down. So great job today, everyone. I'm so glad that you joined me for today's program. If you enjoyed doing today's exercise class, That's great. I would love for you to subscribe, share this with your friends and or family or whoever you think might enjoy doing something like this. Do all those YouTubey things. And then, yeah, I can't wait to see you again. So take care and I'll see you next time.